Greetings everybody, my name's Pieta Valentine. I've written 2 books, The Resident's Voice from a Dementia Unit and The Resident's Rise from a Dementia Unit. So I've been asked to do a series of videos to demonstrate the positive practical techniques that I've demonstrated in the epilogues of the books and that you can do for your friends and family who are institutionalised in a dementia unit. There's many things that you can do that really help the quality of life of people in this situation. So today, firstly just to let you know that I've developed characters actually for this. The main character is called Granny and she's almost 90. She's quite short, about 5'2", and she has a walker. She's got Alzheimer's, one of the most common forms of dementia, and she has a supportive family who really want to know how they can better help to enable her to have an easier time in the dementia unit. So the demonstration today is about Granny's wardrobe. So we're just going to go from tip to toe, all the things that you can do to help someone in a dementia unit in terms of their wardrobe. I'll be speaking mainly about women's wardrobe because I know more about a woman's wardrobe, and a little about men's wardrobe as well, but just tailor it according to your needs, the best fit for the person that you're caring for. So I'll do the do's and don'ts as we go along. Firstly, we'll start with blouses, jackets, tops. In New Zealand, anyway, all women, I would say 95% of women in dementia units wear trousers and shirts. Gone are the days in the 50s and 60s when they wore those fabulous sort of swing around, twist and twirl dresses, and even occasionally someone will wear a skirt or a dress, but it's not very often. So mainly you're dealing with jackets or shirts and trousers, jackets when they go out, and a cardigan when they're inside. So starting off with the shirt, the don'ts first of all. Now, a very popular style for this age group is a blouse called the Liberty blouse. Beautiful as it is, with the lovely little sort of little flowers, there's a name for that, but anyway, little flowers, sort of tiny little flowers all over it, and turn collar and an overturned button sort of strip, and very fitting, and looks fabulous, when you can manage it. But actually this style is not good for someone in a dementia unit, because I'll tell you why. Firstly, the buttons are about, I'd say, 2.5 millimeters big. They're very, very tiny. Now you try, and they're plentiful, like maybe 10 from the neck down to where it finishes, below the waist. 10 tiny, or say 8 tiny little buttons. You try doing those all up every morning, taking that all apart every night, and anyway they fall off. You have to, and someone has to be there to sew them up again, and they're just, also they're tight, they're generally well fitting, they're tight, and they're uncomfortable, starched collar, the works. So really, I had a patient who had about 5 of these Liberty bloomin' blouses, and seriously, the relatives had no idea how awkward it was for the carer to have to dress them each morning, dress them each night. The family wanted her looking immaculate, and she was, but it was a big effort, and I don't think she was that comfortable because of it. So you really need to look around for attire, so we're talking about blouses, say tops, that don't have fiddly buttons, that don't have straps, that don't have zips. There's plenty of beautiful tops now. You can just put your arms through and be done with it. That's it. That's all you have to do, basically. and that's the best thing, you know, maybe 4 or 5 of those. I mean, 2 will be in the laundry, 3 spares at least, and folded in the drawer, and then you're done and dusted. So that's the best arrangement for tops. Trousers, please be careful. Trousers can be actually really uncomfortable. You've got zips, you've got, you know, whatever, waistbands, and the men have belts, and you know, it's like sitting all day in those. If they're not fitting that well, if you put on, you know, a few kilograms, as many people do entering a dementia unit with all that cake and cream, they tend to stabilise usually after a few months, but that first month, so many people put on weight quickly because they're just not used to it. So you really have to watch the wardrobe when they first go in and just check, because often family have to buy an entirely new wardrobe, which is costly in terms of time, money and energy and effort. So ways around that is to have clothes that have a bit of give in them. The other way around it is to just check that, you know, maybe it's best to put the lady onto a lighter diet, like sandwiches, maybe, you know, for morning and afternoon tea, a triangular little sandwich, cucumber sandwich, asparagus sandwich, quite nice, instead of a big slab of, you know, vanilla slice or a Lamington or something. I mean, imagine having that twice a day, every day, and a big, huge dessert for lunch. No, it doesn't work. So just consider all that. Please not to go down the track, though, of the warehouse track pants scenario. Not good. Not good. For either men or women, especially for women, it's not good. You know, women that have been well dressed in their day, and then the visitors come and there they are in track pants. No, it's not right. And it's demeaning, actually. So just try and get some comfortable pants that have a bit of give in them, and then you'll be fine. Probably 3, 4, 5 pairs again, 5 of everything at least, actually. Normally the wardrobes only take about 10 outfits, they're never that big. And you've got, you know, 2 or 3 drawers, unless you bring in a chest of drawers yourself, which is actually a good idea. Also, please be aware that it is the relative's duty, if you like, power of attorney's duty. The power of attorney has so much on. That's why the more she can get help, the better, by the way, family members. So the drawers is the responsibility of the family to tidy, not to expect the carers and the nurses to do that. It's too much. It's actually a big job in itself, because residents tend to flick through them all, you know, rearrange, not just the person that lives in the room, but all the wanderers that come into the room. Consider that the whole place is theirs, so they'll just ruffle through as well. And, you know, things go from one bedroom to another, and on it goes. So really, that's why you do need spare outfits, not just for the laundry, not just for variety, but also because they can go missing, and they will come back, but it takes time for the other relatives to sort out the room where they've gone, or the staff to find out where in fact they are in 30 other rooms in the whole establishment. So these are all the things that one has to sort of get to grips with. Now, of course, you need a nice padded jacket for winter, and then the scarf, and well, in Christchurch, freezing in the winter, so you need the scarf, the mittens and the hat and the whole deal. I'm sure in other countries you wouldn't need to do that. Up north, north you would, but equator-wise. We do here. And a padded jacket, a couple of padded jackets can take up a good amount of room in the wardrobe. So all that needs to be considered. So the next thing is, so actually, look, there's some really beautiful dresses around for women, you know, comfortable dresses, actually, that just, all you have to do is put your 2 arms through the sleeves and there it is. I don't know why more people don't wear dresses, seriously. Well, as you can see, I always wear dresses. I love dresses. Dresses are great. You know, there's no buttons and zip. Well, you know, there might be a zip, but they're very comfortable. They just go on, and you don't have to mix and match. Like, with an elderly, the resident or the patient, you've got to get the trousers matching the top, matching the cardigan, and it takes time, but if you just put on a dress, all you need to match with that is a cardigan. 2 or 3 cardigans can go with everything. It's so easy, and it's just so comfortable. You haven't got any tight waistbands, and if the woman, puts on a bit of weight, it doesn't matter. The dress gives a bit, doesn't it? So I would just suggest that the dresses are a good idea for the ladies. Now we're going to get to shoes. Now shoes are a big deal. Really, really important to have. Look, really, I would say 2 or 3 pairs of comfortable shoes. 1 pair can easily go missing. 1 pair can get worn out. So you've got to have at least 1 pair, there for them to be able to wear. And it's a bit of a mission, can be, getting the right pair of shoes, what with bunions and verrucas and crooked toes and, so many things can go wrong. Swollen ankles. But fortunately, the industry or the marketing or the shoe, department, whatever that's called, has gone to a lot of effort to make good quality, comfortable shoes for a range of feet for the elderly community. So if you go into a shop that not necessarily specialises in shoes for elderly people, but has a good range of shoes that elderly people can wear, you'll see them in a separate section often. Take your mother in there. That is by far the best arrangement. Take her in. I know it's an effort, out on the walker and the whole thing, if she's got one. But look, it's so worth it, because otherwise to try and actually bring in shoes and fit them, it's a bit of a mission. It's really actually quite difficult sometimes to get the right pair. You can bring in 8 pairs and none of them work. But if you're in a shoe shop, you've got 20, 30 pairs to choose from, so it's much better. And there's things to consider. Okay, so the sole has to have good grip, not slippery. Remember, there's lino around often, so a good grip so they don't slip. Make sure there's plenty of room for the toes, especially if there's verrucas and bunions and all that sort of thing going on. Often Velcro is quite good around the ankle, because if the ankles start swelling, they can give a bit. Some people wear good leather lace-up shoes, and they're good as well if they've got fairly good feet and it's not too difficult for them to get something that's comfortable. But it's a mission that is one of the most important things, really, because if the person can't walk in a dementia unit independently from their room to the lounge and the lounge to the dining room, then unfortunately they will have to go elsewhere. You need to be independent to be in the first level dementia care unit, and for that you need to walk. So shoes are vital. Some of the shoes, some people come in with sort of terrible sort of sandals and jandals and slippery sort of scuff-on things with socks, and I just don't know how they manage. But you just have to good, solid, comfortable pair of shoes that the person can walk in, and they will tell you, the resident will tell you whether they're comfortable or not. They'll be able to, when they're in the shop, just give them lots of little practice walks, and they'll tell you what's the most comfortable, and you'll be able to see what's the most comfortable. So if you can just do that job, nice wardrobe. And it is important, because in a dementia unit there's many people that are parading around, working hard actually. You've got the cleaners, and you've got the carers, and you've got the nursing staff and the doctors and the maintenance people, and the kitchen staff coming in and out with trolleys, and the laundry staff coming in with bigger trolleys. And it's actually very, very busy in a dementia unit. There's so many services that need to be, coordinated to have a dementia unit tick along nicely. So all these people will be going past your mother, so it's nice if she's dressed well. It's not like you're at home, for 24 hours, nobody sees you. It doesn't really matter what you're wearing then, does it? Dressing gown, too bad. But when you're in public view, it's different. And so you need to be aware of that, because dementia units are as prejudiced, if there's another word for it, social status or whatever, as any other place. You know, people take note of what you wear. And if you're well dressed, it compensates significantly for other failings like a major memory loss or confusion or whatever. If you're smart and well dressed, people will give you a bit of liberty, including residents can be quite judgmental about poorly dressed people, which is not good, I know, but that's the way the world is, unfortunately, at times. So the other thing to consider is nightwear. Now, please get a long nightie. Like some ladies, they've got short nighties. I don't know what. Thin short nighties, isn't that dreadful? Because the family just haven't thought about it, you know, that they're in public. Like often they go to dinner in their nightie because they get changed for the evening by the afternoon staff, say 4:30, and then so they're changed to go to bed basically, and so they come to dinner in their nightie, which is not good. If it's a long nightie below the knees and a thick nightie, and you know, that's fine, but make sure that it is. And also with dressing gowns, the best thing is to have a good quality dressing gowns, really. So, and have two, because they'll need to be washed. You know, things get spilt readily, tea, everything goes down the front sometimes. So make sure to have a good quality dressing gown, two at least, because, well, even three, so that then at night when they get changed, they can sit and watch TV or in front of dinner and they've got a good quality dressing gown and there's no problems, you know. They are wearing continence pads and products, so, you know, you don't want to have shimmery nighties, for heaven's sake. You've got to have good quality, basic, standard stuff, and that's comfortable and practical and works well. And just think on behalf of the resident, please, in terms of these sensitive topics, because the staff are so busy. They seriously haven't got time to go through all these details that I'm giving, that I gave in the book, in the epilogues of both books, and that I'm giving you now. There's so many details and so many aspects. So you just need to work it through yourself. And once you start thinking in this way on behalf of the resident and what they need and what's important, and observing and listening, looking, you'll get the hang of it, and it will all click into place. But at the start, it's quite a bit to absorb and quite a bit to do. So do be prepared. But if in advance you're aware of these things, even before your family member goes into a unit, then you can start quietly preparing, and it won't be such a shock to the system when you get in there, in terms of, you know, what needs to be done to help your mother or father going into a unit. So all these similar aspects for the male's wardrobe. Often they wear jeans, trousers. That's really good. They can probably get away with tracksuit pants, good quality ones, a little more than the women can, and many do wear shirts. They don't seem to be bothered by that, or t-shirts are fine. Hats, they like sometimes wearing hats or caps. So, you know, everyone has their own sort of favourite thing. And make sure too that all the gear is labelled, which the facility will generally do with a little labelling machine. Often they send it to the laundry, and there's a little label glue, they fast glue onto the item so that the name is on each item for when they get washed at the laundry. And in the facilities here in New Zealand, the whole outfit gets washed every day. Can you believe it? Everything goes into the laundry every day. So you can imagine how hard that is on the clothes, especially, you know, not just vigorous, huge washing machines, industrial washing machines, but also industrial dryers. So, yeah, imagine that. It's not the clothesline, you peg it out and, you know, the sunshine does half of it. No, it's the dryer. And so take the woolens home and wash them. Don't let them go through a dryer or the laundry, because if the woolens, the mohair rugs or the lovely mohair cardigans or woolen cardigans, Angora cardigans, go through the laundry, they will come back a matted mess. Very common, sad scenario. So leave a notice by the wardrobe or wherever, and and leave a bag and say, staff, please put all the woolens in this, and I will take it home and wash them. That's a very important aspect, to keep the whole wardrobe nice and tidy. So really that's a lot, isn't it, to consider for the family. People don't realise, they think, oh, you know, the person's going into care, there won't be much to do now, you know, we've had a tough time at home looking after mum, but, you know, now she's being cared for, everything will be hunky-dory, we just take a bit of shampoo and conditioner now and then and she'll be fine. But no, there's so much that needs to be done, as we've just seen, with wardrobe alone. You know, it's a big subject. So we'll finish with that today. I know these are quite long videos, but there really is a lot to know, that you need to know to do this adequately. So maybe as we go on with these, it might not be so much later on, but just in the first few basic videos, we're going to really need to cover the ground in depth and detail, so that you can really set up things well, and you'll find that you'll be more relaxed, that your father will be more comfortable, and things will tick along a lot more easily when you can put these things in place. Thank you.